Hello and welcome to the Batcave, your secret hideout for Brawl gameplay and deck tech videos. I'm your host, BlindBat8719. Today's video is a celebration of a new chapter in my life, the birth of my son Zachary. Life has been pretty crazy lately with his arrival and with the purchase of a new home, so I haven't been able to devote as much time to the channel as I would like. However, I wanted to share this good news with you my viewers, and the best way I could think of that was to build a Zacama deck, since this legendary dinosaur kinda shares the same name as my son. Before I go over the deck, a couple of quick asks of my audience. Please click the subscribe button down below, help me grow my channel, and if you end up liking the video or just the deck list, please share it with your friends. With the asks out of the way, Zacama Primal Calamity is a 9-mana commander, 6 red, white, elder dinosaur with vigilance, reach, and trample, and is a 9/9 body. When Zacama enters the battlefield, if it was cast, untap all lands you control. Then 2 and a color source for each of the following effects. 3 damage to a creature with red mana, destroy target artifact or enchantment with green mana, or gain 3 life with white mana. Now, Zacama is so far out there on the mana curve, and is so theme agnostic, that you can build literally anything you want without any considerations regarding playing your commander on curve. With that said, I've tried several builds of this deck and ultimately decided to go with my favorite flavor, Naya gold cards. The strategy of the deck is to generate a lot of value from my gold cards to overwhelm my opponent. If that doesn't work, then cast Zacama and let it take over the game. To maximize Zacama's impact on the game, I've included Domri, Anarchabolus, and Rhythm of the Wild to make my creature spells uncounterable, and Halana and Elena partners that, along with Rhythm of the Wild, can give my creatures haste, so that Zacama can attack the turn it comes down. This deck will chew through cards quickly, which I learned from my earlier experimentations with an all-ramp build, so refilling my hand is a priority. To that end, I decided to run the triumvirate of green draw cards, Guardian Project, Toski Bearer's Secrets, and Beast Whisperer. My gold card advantage spells include Rada, Heart of Kel to play lands off the top, Tovlar, Dire Overlord to draw cards whenever him or another wolf/werewolf deals damage, Showdown of the Skalds, Winota, Join of Forces, cause why not, Yasharn, Implacable Earth, and Escape to the Wilds. Besides the obvious inherent power that comes with playing gold cards, the biggest reason I'm playing gold is because of my love for Hero of Precinct 1 and Tome of the Guild Pact. I'm always excited when I get to go off of these two, and since I did an Esper Gold video, link in the top corner of your screen right now, I figured I would get around to building another gold deck, this time being Naya focused. Anyways, Hero of Precinct 1 makes small tokens for me to attack with, while Tome draws me cards every time I cast a multicolored spell. The cards that I want to shine a spotlight on in this deck tech are Carnage Tyrant, Vivian Reed, Smothering Tithe, and Vivid Revival. Carnage Tyrant is an older finisher from when Exelon was in Standard, and I felt that this deck needed a good beat stick that would be hard for my opponents to interact with, as Carnage Tyrant is both uncounterable and has hexproof. It being a dinosaur was just pure icing on the cake. Vivian Reed is a card that I feel I should play more often. Her plus ability lets me find a creature or land that lets me keep the pressure on my opponent or help me not miss land drops when trying to get to Zacama. Her middle ability allows me to deal with pesky flyers, artifacts, or enchantments that my opponents may have. The game is over if I ever get to her ultimate, it's just that good. I decided to include Smothering Tithe in this deck even though I have the ability to ramp using green spells, because I wanted a passive ramp spell that attacks my opponent's resources, both in-game and mentally. And if my opponent got too greedy with his card drawing, then I would have Zacama on the battlefield that much sooner. Vivid Revival was a neat find when looking for other cards that cared about gold status. Paying 5 mana to, air quotes, draw 3, / technically return 3 cards from the graveyard is a fair rate, and getting to reuse my gold cards is plain awesome. Now with the deck tech out of the way, let's jump into the arena for some brawls. This one will be a mulligan. I'm playing against Horsepower, piloting a Sythis Harvest hand, and the reason why is I don't have a white source. Source of Plowshares, my opener against a 2-drop, is pretty amazing, but I'm not going to be able to use it right away, and this is going to be a very powerful deck to go up against, so take the free mulligan here. It's a little slow. I'm going first, but I think this could actually Knight of Autumns could actually just destroy her straight up. So I will keep this Thrash and Threat. I don't really use Threat, but Thrash will be useful. So let's start by waving hello to the opponent, and let's lead off with the green one instead. I was going to play the Sundown Pass, but I realized if I happen to draw a green 2-drop, I want to be able to actually use the green here right now. So opponent led off with Command Tower for a Gilded Goose, and then let's see, we have red white. Let's just play the white here, And then we have a Spare Supplies. I like Spare Supplies in my non-blue decks because to me this is a Search the Multiverse. The card with Nico Eris on it that's has Foretell. To me, it's the exact same card. So it just that it's instead of paying 2 to Foretell and 2 to draw right away, you just draw 2 now and draw 2 later. And there's Hero, which is nice. I don't have I think yes, we'll do Night of the Autumn. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Will destroy Sythis. Now that the Alice had Delight's bounty out and they'd have no mana to protect it, so let's get that going at least. Next turn, I'm probably going to be going with Hero with a Thrash. Maybe go after the Gilded Goose. I could do that, or probably the Alice. That's probably the one to get rid of because that gives things protections. So no blocks. I'll take the hit for right now. Make sure I got double red, double white. Play out the green source. So let's play out my Hero. Let me swing here. And then I'm going to expect him to make the Goose token now. And then I'll have him, my Knight, kill the Gilded Goose so that they can't use the mana for... so they have to play a land to have the protection up. Okay, they have the protection up now. Alright, so they spend their turn doing that. They have the protection. Go with Rootbound Crag, and yeah, let's go with Mirari's Wake. Just double up the mana right now. And just swing in for the attack. So now whenever you tap a land for mana, so I take 3 of these. If I take the 3 of these, that gives me 5 with 1 left over. 7, 8. Ooh, okay. What does this do? I don't remember seeing this. Alrighty, and either they misclicked or they just didn't want to deal with it anymore. Because yeah, the combo's coming out next turn, and that would have actually just gotten rid of that. So, Power, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. If this hand had some green lands in it, I would totally keep it, because Esper Sentinel into Drover of the Mighty would be pretty sweet. And then if Draconic Disciple or Cultivate, oh my god, it'd be so amazing. But I'm playing against K5216, piloting a Niv-Mizzet Parun deck, so this will definitely have to worry about the Curiosity combo, and obviously this is going to be mostly a control deck. This won't keep up, though the Esper Sentinel will be really nice, but I'm not banking everything off of that. This hand technically is slow, but it's got the ramp, so... This one, okay, you could maybe argue about keeping it or not, but I'm going to keep the 7 here. Lead off with saying hello. Wave hello, and play off the Rockfall Veil. Then, if I draw a land to come to play on tap, which I don't, we'll go the Clifftop Retreat. And then I'd say the safest bet next, if I draw a land, would be Mindstone into the north. So land, why would you do that way? Mindstone? And then let's see the counters into the north. Okay, Brainstorm. That's a good one I like in my Niv-Mizzet deck, just because that almost turns... Brainstorm now becomes like a lightning bolt, and then you get to choose your card selection. So that was pretty nice. I don't think they're going to... Well, they can't pack to negate because then they'd lose. What do I need? Probably need green. I got double... Let's see. I got triple red. Let's go with double green right now. So let's get a snow-covered forest. So now with 5... If I draw a land, I could go a Ravager Worm, and I'll blow up as in a mana base, so that won't actually work. A Braid. Okay, so now we're still on the part of trying to draw lands here. So let's go with Spare Supplies. Gets me a Solemn, and then we'll go with a Black Market Tycoon. So again, I'm still hoping for that land. Cemetery Gatekeeper. So what was that? Artifacts. Okay. Smothering Tide seems pretty good against a deck that's constantly drawing. So yeah, I'm gonna try. I want to try the fancy thing with the Smothering Tides, no attacks, because I'm just gonna lose it. Probably with Black Market Tycoon. Now that I think about it, this is gonna be really painful. Oh, okay. Or just the right thing to make my opponent concede. So K5216, thank you very much for the quick game, and let's go on to the next one. Alright, I'm going to keep this hand. I have a Swords of Plowshares to deal with ZZtron's Giada, Font of Hope. So this will definitely be an Angel Tribal deck. Very fun deck. I've been wanting to build with her at some point myself. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to go down. But yeah, 2-drop, 3-drop, refill the hand. So this hand seems very good. It'd be nicer if I come into play untapped white source. I don't. So I actually think it's an interesting decision between the Calamity Courtyard and the Jetmir's Garden. Start off by saying hello, and I think what's going to happen most of the time is that Jetmir's Garden, if given the choice, probably the better one to put down first, as it gives me all three of my options. Opponent casts Giada, and let's go with the Sun Petal Grove. If I forego doing a Maze Mind Tome this turn, what does it cost me? I mean, so I'll behind the next turn I play out Rada, and then I play out Showdown. Oh, I still have a Cabaret Courtyard to worry about. Alright, so let me just use swords now. I'm going to do that. And actually, yeah, so I think that's, now that I think about this, the Courtyard, if they come into play tap, that may mean that I have an option of holding out. Oh, Nadar. Nadar's awesome. I love this guy. He's such a fun one. Interesting. I mean, I would say interesting because you're probably in an Angel Tribal deck, but this guy generates so much value in mono white, especially with the dungeons. Alright, so that Courtyard is going to definitely be held off for a while. Let's see what we have. Errata here. Smothering Tithe. Okay. That might be something. That thing that will be coming down. Okay, so if I eat a trick here, how worse off am I? You know something? I'll take... It's only the one, right? I'm going to take the one. That gets him to... Alrighty. So much for the land. Well, I'll play the same thing back at you. Oh. Yep. Nope, that was a mistake. Alright, yeah, guys. Sorry. Unfortunately, a bad habit of mine is that I take note of... Oh, yeah, they take one less damage. And then the very next instant, I forget about it. So if you do that, don't feel bad. I do it too. Alright, so this probably means that he'll go for the lose one life, gain one life. So now, this gets to be interesting. I think I go with Showdown here. So that I can see what some more options are. Calamity will get me. Let's get another white source. Why not? Actually, I have a lot of green. Let's go with another green. Alright, they've been paying at least, so that's helpful. So, if I'm going to go really, really crazy, everybody gets +1/+1 as long as you create a dungeon. 7. Alright, so Ravager Worm would seem to be the thing to play out, as well as the more things I play, the better, so I have 5. Alright, so we're going to go with Autumn of Night, and I'm going to go with the put 2/1/1 counters on her, and then I would say go with a Black Market Tycoon. This way then I can get, I can trade here, and then I have the Nadar, I can kind of fight a little bit here. So I think that's my best option. I'm kind of sad to lose the Ravager Worm and the Beast Whisperer, but they're kind of pressuring my life total a lot here. Now it's time to see what the trick is that they have. Now they're getting really aggressive. I mean, these are the obvious blocks. Take the trade there. And they're doing all that on essentially 4 mana. Angel of Vitality. Alright. What is this? 25 or more life. Even better. So, we'll go with Guardian Project. And then I guess the question now becomes, do I want to thin out the deck? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This makes me to 7. There might be tapping things down, but that gets me 8. I think I'm just going to start using the Maze Mind Tome instead. And just try to hit hard. Because this will bring the life total down a little bit so that Angel Vitality becomes a 2/2. And then I can start using Maze Mind Tome, hopefully maybe to gain a little bit of life, the amount of time I have left. Are they swing? Alright, so let's just scry. Curse of Silence isn't really what I want right now. Neither is Fabled Passage. Let's draw the card here. Alright, do I have the triple white? I do with some to spare. Is it the Valkyria that's the issue, or is it one of the creatures? I'm going to say the Valkyria is probably an issue. So let's get rid of that. I have Boseiju who endures. Well, that would be nice a little bit sooner. And so let's go with that. Let's get a red, I feel like is the right call here. And then let's use Into the North. Let's get a green source. So 3, 6, 7, 8. Might be able to come back here. I mean, they gave me the treasure token. I have Zacama in hand essentially with the Boseiju. So, wow, I do feel bad for my opponent. They've been kind of stuck on the 4 mana the entire time. Bloodline Pretender on Angel. That makes sense. Swing for 3 here. Play out the land. Play out Zacama. Alright, draw a land. Let's do 3 damage here. Swing out. That's 5. Alright, and just kind of pass it up here and kind of play control for the most part. 2, 4. Yep, there we go. Alright. Elspeth Resplendent? I mean, that's fine. I don't really think her first thing can do anything. -3. Best bet they can do is maybe a Skyclave Apparition. We got a land. Ooh, that's good to know, actually. Speaker of the Heavens, no problem. Yeah, that's what I figured. So, ZZtron, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, so this hand's going to be a mulligan. I'm playing against Arenium. I'm going to go with that. I'm piloting a Vorinclex Monstrous Raider deck. Big, green, nasty, hasty, trample, ramp, +1/+1 counter. So, not ready to deal with that. This is better to deal with it, I'd say. Start off by waving hello to the opponent, and let's play out a Rockfall Veil. Somehow when I saw the Rockfall Veil, however, I thought that was the red-white one, so I was maybe a little bit too hasty with my snap keep of this. But I'm ultimately confident that things will work out. I do have a Psalm to get me there. And if he plays something else, I can use Field of the Ruin to get that white source. Sylvian Anthem, that's nice. So there's that. We'll play out our Draconic Disciple. So now we're looking up to 5 mana. That's looking pretty good, pretty good. Ooh, we're going elves? Interesting. This is me play another land, right? Okay. 3, so he's not ramping like that. So let's play out the Snow Source. Play out Escape to the Wilds. See what we hit. Sundown Pass. And let's go with an Esper Sentinel. Not that that's going to be drawing me a lot of cards at this point. Let's see. Can I cast everything next turn? Kind of close. Oran Reef Ooze. Alright, so he's got 4. Definitely keep the swords up for the Vorinclex. How can I do the math to make all of this stuff work out? Ah, that's the combination. Alright, so let's see. We got... Let's play out the land. If I do red, green... Makes everything... That means that Domri becomes red-green. I think I'm going to lose out on the Winota, but that's fine. Alright, so let's go with red-green... for that. Oh, I do have Draconic Disciple. But yeah, I think, as much as Winota is fun, I think having out... let's see. I could fight. Red. Let's go for the red. Go for Tovlar. And I'll keep the white open as a possibility. I'm not going to attack. I have the white open as a possibility for swords, which will probably be coming next turn. All the ramp. Garruk, Wrath of the Wilds. I don't usually play with this card. Alright, interesting. Resolve. I get a Faeburrow Elder. Alright. Doesn't have a fight. Draft a creature and put it onto the battlefield. Okay. Well, this will be interesting. Alright, let's see. Let's look at the options. Mosscoat Goriak? Nah. Oh, we made a decision. Garruk's Uprising? Sure. Everybody gets trample. You get to draw a card because the Imperial is perfect. So again, we have, I'm trying to do the math in my head, 3, 6, 7, 8. We have the 9. That's fine. No blocks. If they were to pump, then I would save them, but no point here. Thrash Threat. Alright. Garenbrig. Let's add a red. So let's use this. Add a colorless. And play out Zacama, Primal Calamity. Untap everything. And let's see, what are we blowing up first? Let's get rid of this. That's fine. Alright, I have a Rip Apart, target creature or planeswalker. Well, let's do a Rip Apart to the planeswalker. And then target creature control deals damage to... Thinking hold off on that. But okay, so yeah, I think, yeah, they kind of saw the writing on the wall that I was slowly being able to dismantle everything they had, because everything was just going to be really small. So Arenium, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. Alrighty, and that is the video for today. Overall, the record was 5-5, so the deck went 50-50. As always, I had a lot of fun playing this deck. I have a lot of fun playing my gold. I like the extra stress on the brain about do I have all the right mana to cast things, and trying to play things that I don't always get a chance to play because they're more restrictive on their colors. Not much that I really would change. I just think, again, like Zacama is very open-ended. You could build it a dozen different ways, because it just breaks the rules for most stuff. But it basically is like, it's a commander, it's not a commander. It's like you want to have ramps, so eventually you'll get to 9 at some point. So which case, then you can play out the commander. But ultimately, it's so far removed from the mana curve that it really shouldn't even factor into your deck building considerations. Just build whatever you want in these 3 colors, and that's almost like the definition of just a good stuff commander, which I would say Zacama is. But let me know what you think of the deck in the comment section down below. Let me know what you want to see more of on the channel, any recommendations you have on how I can improve the deck, or what other commanders you want me to build. As always, thank you for visiting the Batcave, and have a great day.